Welcome to the New Wave Real Estate Training Meeting. We want to thank everybody for coming on, especially our special guest who Red Suit's going to introduce to us in just a second. Guys, we have a huge opportunity here to not only improve our real estate business, but also realistically level up all our social media. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Scott.
One of the best social media gurus, studs. He is so good. He's so authentic. He's so real. I know yesterday he did a live yesterday, and he's built a brand around being what he like, what's important to him, right? And so a lot of times we struggle when we try to be what everyone else wants us to be instead of being what you deep down inside you ultimately want to be. And this individual has done such an amazing job, and I resonate. I didn't even know before I even met him when Paige is like, yeah, Matt's over at Real, and he's actually part of the team. I had no idea, but I've been following him. I'd seen his stuff for so long. I've seen him connected with Bam and with everyone else. And so before I introduce this person, I want to teach you guys a little tip, a little nugget, how you guys can crush it on social media. 3.5 years ago, I had 300 followers, guys, 300 followers. And the first thing I did is I went in there and I actually eliminated followers, people that didn't serve me, didn't make me laugh, and didn't inspire me. I just stopped following those people. Rule number one, stop following people that make you feel a certain way. Okay, you don't have to see their stuff. Stop filling up your feed. So I actually cut back. I had like about 450. I cut that back to about 275 people. And I said, I'm going to start this from scratch. And the first thing that I did is I reached out to a social media guru that I saw online. I liked their stuff. I paid them $250 and they did a social media profile audit for me. And they taught me how to use the basic parts of social media, and just understanding the basics and understanding how it operated. Then I could go to work. And the way I went from about 250 followers, because I didn't care about Instagram, I was more on Facebook, but I was like, you know what? I want to build my brand. I want to let people know who I was. People were calling me out because I'm in the real estate space, but nobody could find me online. And so what I started to do, and the best way that I started to build my brand, this is a nugget that will help you guys out. The best way to build your table is by helping other people build their table. So when somebody like Matt comes on the call and Paige, the best thing you guys can do is you guys can reach out to your friends, your people, and promote somebody like Matt. So if you go to my social media on about a daily or every other day, I'm promoting somebody else that's not me, that doesn't necessarily serve me, but I like them, I care about them, and I respect them. And I'll post a picture. So if you go on my story today, I posted about Matt. He's legend. He's teaching our team out. I tagged him. Watch what happens. If you share about somebody else, they'll reshare your stuff. And then all of a sudden, they'll be able to cross over their networks with your networks. Yesterday, Matt did a live. I invited, hey, Matt, invite me, put me on here. And luckily, he said he did. We talked for 15 minutes. I scooped up like 20 followers from Matt just by having a conversation with him. And I bet Matt scooped up a bunch of my followers. So the best way to help other people win, and that's the abundance, that's what our team, that's what Real is all about, is helping promote, helping market, helping support, helping give back to other people. So without further ado, I want to introduce somebody that has literally already taken over Canada. He's going to be dual citizen out here in the U.S. when he takes over the U.S. I want to introduce somebody that's near and dear to my heart. I love this man. I respect him, and he's going to help us take this business to the next level. Give it up for the man himself, Mr. Matt Lionetti. Let's go.
Damn. Thank you. That was, I don't even know how to follow that. That was the best intro I think I've ever had in my life. And you pronounced my last name right. Thank you. Most people say Lionetti. Yeah. Are we talking about social growth, Scott? You're not in your red suit again. You're really throwing me off.
You know what? Good question. I think what we should do here is, why don't you go off on a couple of tangents that are really important to you? I know you did a really, really good job asking questions, going through. People have specific questions. I know the Q&A has been really, really powerful. So why don't you talk to, about what's in your heart, what you feel is really, really important for these agents that are moving forward. And then let's just open it up to the team. Guys, this is literally closed mouths don't get fed. So this is an opportunity to learn from one of the best in the business. That's part of our team, part of our community. He'll help you guys out, like use the tools. So why don't you just take it out, something that's really important to you, and then let's open it up to a Q&A. How does that sound, guys?
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Yeah. Throw anything in the Q&A. For those of you who don't know my story, I've been in the industry for 8 years. 3.5 years in, I almost got out of the business because nothing was working for me. I was trying everything, and I kind of found that I was being a shelled up version of myself. And as soon as I got the confidence to just do what I do and understand that the only thing that's special about all of us is us. You know, if I'm trying to be like Scott trying to be like me, it's never going to work. It will never work. But as soon as you get the confidence to just like trust that you're going to put yourself out there, you're going to create a personal brand for yourself, like-minded people will be attracted to that. Everyone, you know, there's people who probably hate me. There's people who probably hate Scott. No one probably hates Paige, but it's like, you know, it is what it is, right? People definitely hate me though. And they call me short and they tell me I should gain more weight, which is, you know, if I was fat, you know, you can't tell someone they're too fat. You'll get like canceled, but every other day, someone's telling me to gain weight. I don't know what it is. I think I just have that face that people maybe don't like, but yeah, I just built my personal brand. So I say I'm from Toronto. I live about 45 minutes east of the city. I'm not a city guy. I like going into the city, but I don't like living in the city. But a lot of objections I'll always get is, oh, I can't do what you do. I'm not a city agent. I'm a small town agent. I live in a town called Bowmanville. I'm technically a small town agent as well. Now, I sell in the city, but where I'm actually located is small town. There's farms around me. I like it. It's very peaceful. All my Toronto friends think I live in Farmville. That's just is what it is. So you can do it. I've been fortunate enough to get the attention of some of the most influential people in this industry. And it's all from just creating my personal brand and leaning into that. I got a lot of shit for it on the way up because when you're doing something that's kind of untested, it looks outlandish outside looking in. And I always say, no one wants to be your friend at ground level. They only want to be your friend when you start making your way up, you know, up to the penthouse. So trust your gut with everything you do and build that personal brand, because the personal brand is something that no one can take away from you. That's yours forever. And then, yeah, as you get, now that I've niched down and I've built it for a couple of years, now I'm starting to have a bit more fun. I'm doing a lot more cinematic listing videos for our listings. And we're, you know, this year alone, we've got into a whole other price range of homes. Like we're doing 4.5 million, 5 million, 6 million. We had a $15 million listing. So you can niche down and build that following. And then as you build that following, if you build it properly, people are going to start rooting for you. So you can make that switch and people are still going to be wanting to be involved with your content. So that's some of the biggest, some of the biggest advice I have today. We can get real nitty gritty into actual social strategy and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys saw, but Real Luxury today just posted that we have over $1 billion in active listings since May. That's a huge deal. That's a giant deal for a lot of reasons. I mean, there's only like 200 agents, I think, and not even. I don't think there's a lot of agents in Real Luxury yet. And the fact that it's only been, it was founded in May, is a big deal because a lot of stuff I'll get here in Toronto, a big city. The Toronto agents will say, oh, you guys are just, you're more interested in recruiting and not selling. Well, clearly we're not, and what a lot of people don't understand about revenue share is there has to be revenue to share. No one makes rev share if there's no revenue to share. So when you hear of those people making whatever, hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue share, that's because the brokerage and the agents are so damn good at their job, because people aren't making that if there's no revenue in the company. So I just want to bring that up because I saw that stat this morning. I was pretty happy about that. Oh, Pages.
Also, Matt, I'm just gonna come on really quick and say, Real Luxury. I don't know if anyone else in this group is in it, but for me, so Matt, maybe we could talk about that really quick. For me, it was really helpful in attracting agents. Like agents from nicer brokerages were like, oh, what is real luxury? Like, it's like, what do you do? Like, people that are actually selling big listings. For me, that was a big reason why I went to Angle Invokers first, because I was like, hey, is it going to help me get bigger clients if you get all these things that like a Berkshire or Sotheby's gives you? And with real luxury, it's way cheaper. What is it, like $900 a year or something? And you get all your listings into like the Chinese search engines and Wall Street Journal and Barron's. You get them syndicated. If there's a special listing, like something unique or like a celebrity factor, something unique about it, you can submit it for like media stuff. And so for me, it's been helpful in saying that to my clients. Like, you're going to be listed with the fastest growing publicly traded brokerage there is. Plus, I'm a part of the real luxury division, which, gets you all these things. So it's been helpful in getting listings, especially bigger listings and with attraction. And I like their branding better. So if anyone's interested, reach out to me and I can tell you how to sign up, or we can get you more info on it.
Yeah,
100%.
let me give you an action item real quick. Paige talked about the stock option. We have so many things going on. I signed up for it last week. I just closed on 2 deals, and literally I got 10% free money right off the bat. It's the coolest thing ever. And the same thing with real luxury, guys. You literally could go out, sign up for it, pay the $900, do what Emma did, go out there, find $1 million listing. If you need help with it, partner up with Paige and get a listing. She sold that thing so stinking fast, made a ton of money. Paige helped her out. So we have all the tools, resources. That could be a massive, massive asset for you guys in agent attraction. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's massive. I mean, yeah, like Paige said, there's a lot of PR you can get for your listings. Now, I mean, I came from a luxury brokerage before. The Wall Street Journal, that stuff, to be completely honest, if no one's ever done it before, super cool. Really doesn't sell the listing, but what it does do is keeps your clients really happy. Your clients, they love seeing their house in Wall Street Journal and wherever, Forbes or whatever publication, big publication you get them in. And that's actually one of the things that they tell their friends. Oh, my agent got us in here and here and here. So it is a really good tool, even though it might not, a lot of people will say, oh yeah, it doesn't sell it, but it does other things. Same as a great listing video. Sometimes the listing video isn't the direct reason why it sells, but you get to leverage that in so many different ways. Other people see it, your clients are happy, they share it. So that's why you just got to be like so well-rounded now. And the great thing about being here is you can be well-rounded. Before it was like, how do you be successful? You got to door knock. How do you be successful? You got to cold call. How do you be successful? You got to do open houses. And all the answers were based on whatever broker owner, whatever they did. And that was the only way you could be successful. Now, I mean, look at the group we have here. You have Scott, you have Paige, you have me, Jeremy doing 75 deals his first year in real estate. Like there's no reason why you can't just be so well-rounded, to have a great social presence, to be a great door knocker, to be a great at open houses, to be a great listing agent. There's all the tools are right in front of you here. And I think more agents are starting to realize that, especially with the group we have here. So yeah, it's badass.
Yeah, and let's open up the questions. But guys, just full circle what we're talking about. Paige, you weren't on the call earlier. Speaking of luxury, anyone that hits $1 million in sales during the month, we're gonna have a team dinner for them, and I'll pay for it. I will pay for it. So you hit over $1 million, we'll all go to dinner. The producers get paid, right? We'll have a really cool dinner. You good with that, Paige? She's actually the only person I asked for permission, but Paige, are you good with something like that? You hit over $1 million during the month. We go do a team dinner. You up for that?
I mean, I hit $1 million, so you're paying for me?
Well, it depends on what you're buying, right? So yes, I offered it. I'm going
just
to pay
messing
you.
with you. Yeah, let's do it for sure.
Paige actually agreed to buy everyone a Rolex as well. Wasn't that right, Paige? Something like that. I don't know, and a Tesla or something.
I'm just gonna hop off real quick,
Yeah, she's at it. Let me make one thing very clear, guys. I had 250 followers when I started on social media, and I dress up like Santa Claus every single day. Last week, Sean Whalen, who is massive, asked me to be one of his keynote speakers at his event. You have no excuse. We throw big events. Matt's flying across the country, all these amazing people, just because you believed in yourself that you're good enough to win. You guys are way better than me. You're way better. You have way more skills than I. You're way better looking than I am. But you know what? Up here, you have to believe that you are the absolute best because you have all the tools. And I don't talk about this that very much, but this year coming into 2025, start believing that you're bad to the bone, that you are a killer in real estate. You have all the tools. You just, no more excuses. Let's just go out there, every single one of you, every month. My bill better be like 10 grand because you all hit it and we have a blast and we all make money together. So that's just all I got to say. But what are the questions? What questions do you guys have to help you guys be $1 million a month producer?
Well, while we're waiting for questions, sorry, Tana, really quick, make sure you guys are taking advantage of the stuff in Real Academy too, like Sharon's stuff that he has coming up, like his business planning session. He has some really good stuff. So if you're not in Real Academy and like saving and putting in your calendar the ones you want to attend, there's a ton of value in there. So sorry, go ahead, Tana.
I had a question too.
So Matt, when you are doing listing videos and stuff, is there a certain amount that you spend per video, and does it depend on the price point, how much you'll spend? And then the other question I had is, what do you do consistently in your work every day?
Yeah, so it depends on the price. Something like Benny, that was a $4.5 million listing. I ended up spending about $7,000 on that video. I do so much work with my videographer now that, and if you get a good videographer that you trust, sometimes they can, be like, listen, this is my budget. This is my idea. And this is my budget. The house is whatever, 1.5 million, 1,700,000, whatever it is. And, there's margins, like everything. You have to make sure that you're still making money and it makes sense. So my videographer will work with me now on that. On a daily basis, what I'm doing is what I've started to do this year, which I've loved, is every morning, Salt Cinema is epic. They're like the best. But what I've started to do every morning, what has really helped me, is I started waking up earlier, and instead of like working out that's just not my thing. I'm not kickboxing in the gym like Paige at 3 a.m. in the morning, but I'll wake up earlier, and what I'll do is I just sit on the couch with my coffee and my dog with nothing, no TV, no phone. And that's like my brainstorming. I just sit there and I look, and sometimes I put on some music. And I just, at the end of that, write down a bunch of ideas and stuff that I can start like doing, whether that's an idea that I'm going to bring out this week, or that's an idea for a new listing, whatever that's coming out, like just ideas. And I try and have those like creative breaks every now and then, because I've found lately, as I get busier, you're on calls a lot, you're on appointments a lot. You never get that time to actually just like breathe for a second. It's different for everyone. I mean, like I was just saying, like a lot of people find that peace in working out or something. So wherever you find that peace, make sure you time block that into your day every day, because that is where a lot of the magic happens. And that's where like, you don't get just get exhausted from it. You don't get burnt out. So I've been doing that a lot, and I'm always constantly looking at my notes now, just trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do this week? I don't bulk as much as maybe I should, but I've started bulking a bit. So I'll do like once a month. I'll probably do 5 to 10 videos, just bulked with my videographer, just so I have them if I have a slow week or whatever. And then again, one thing I've been being a little more mindful of is my stories, because I know Paige crushes her stories, and I've seen that. So I've been trying to kind of duplicate that in my own way lately.
Yeah, stories
Well,
for me.
thank you.
I'm on stories every single day. So even if you don't have like some amazing video plans, like people are still getting to know you. They can see your day to day. They can get to know who you are. And it's so easy. Like everything I'm doing, like I'll just like pull up my camera and film something or snap a picture of something, or, it's doesn't take that much time just to throw up what you're already doing during the day. I have this mount in my car that I'm using right now. So like if I want to like get something out there, I'll just throw my phone up while I'm driving. So it doesn't take that much time, and you get better at it the more that you do it. When I'm talking,
Did you get pulled over for that?
What's that?
Did you get pulled over for that?
The mount?
Didn't you? Yeah, it's where you said you got pulled over for doing car content.
Oh, I don't know.
Your
Maybe
hands-
at some point. Maybe that
Your
was
hands
before.
free.
maybe
If
that was
your hands free,
before
you're fine.
I had this mount. I don't know. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like I used to feel so uncomfortable like getting on and talking to the camera. And so then someone actually told this to me. They're like, just act like you're on FaceTime, like talking to your sister or like your best friend or somebody you feel so comfortable with. So like act like you're sending a video like to your family or a friend. Don't act like, don't think about that you're like putting it out on social, and it'll just help you feel more comfortable, and then it'll just become second nature and be easy to pull out your camera, throw out a quick video.
Hey, I want to give you guys a nugget on stories. If you clear your stories out 24 hours and then you put a really dope picture of you or a really something that looks really cool, and then you do a question that says, should there be pineapples on pizza? Something that everyone's going to answer yes or no. Watch what will happen to your engagement and let that sit for about 8 to 12 hours. And all of a sudden, your story engagement will go through the roof. And then you guys can post after that. So every so often, let your stories expire. And there's little nuggets right there. Watch how many. Normally, if you get 300 looks or 200 looks or 100 looks, do that. And mark my words, it'll like 3-4 exit because you want a lot of engagement. Just a little ways to get more in attractment. So.
Yeah, that's huge.
What
That's
other
cool.
and Tana, here's the thing with you. You're so stylish with what you do. You're always put together. You look amazing. Like for me, I'd love to see more like, like Paige does it, like where she gets, Paige posts something about where she gets dresses and all sorts. Like how many people reached out in the comments? Where'd you get that? To build that connectivity with your clients, you give them a good referral. Then when they sell their house, they're going to want to go with you. So like figure out a way to like really connect with your audience.
I second that. I want to see where you get your outfits, Tana.
People have been asking me for that lately. I might start doing it. I might start doing the whole thing.
Yeah, you gotta link that iconic leather jacket, Matt.
Yeah, the iconic, what I wear 90% of the time.
Guys, let's take 2 more questions, and we have a big event. We have so much going on this week, interactive with the open houses. I know Tiffany got a lead. She got a buyer broker, showed up to the open house, got a buyer from it. But who's got other questions? Just hop on here. You got Matt Lionetti.
Now you just did say his name wrong.
You did say my name wrong. Yeah, I gave you props for saying it right, and then you said it wrong. And you're not in your red suit, so less points as well.
Hey, you know what, Matt? You know what, Matt? I appreciate you, buddy.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Huh?
Oh, we got a hand raise.
Dodd from New York, man. Crush it.
Quick question. So when batching content, do you recommend batching, like if you're just starting out, do you recommend like batching it once a week? Or do you recommend like just to make sure you're staying consistent? Like what's the bet? Like should you start in like small clumps and then start doing it on a monthly basis or every 2 weeks? Or how would you recommend it?
Yeah, I think that's a bit personal to you and what you think you can do on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. I know a lot of people who are super busy, they are doing just monthly just because it's, they don't have time to, that's the only time they can do it. But right now you have time to do weekly and you can batch maybe 5 videos. So you do weekly, but you do, those people who are doing monthly are usually doing a half day or a full day of content. If you want to break it up per week and do like 2 hours a week or whatever, you could do it that way as well. I think either or is good. And it also depends on how enthusiastic you can stay through the process. Like so it's a skill to do a half day or a full day of content once a month to keep that enthusiasm, to keep the energy up the whole time. So if you feel like you're going to be better off doing it weekly and doing it little spurts at a time to keep that energy up, do that. Because most of the content, what people don't understand, you can have the greatest video idea ever. If it's not thought through and it doesn't have enthusiasm and energy, no one's going to care. The enthusiasm more than anything is going to sell whatever you're doing. People want enthusiasm and they're addicted to enthusiasm. So if you can find a way to keep that, then do it that way. Also a good idea for content, just for everyone, If you don't know what to talk about, literally go to big people like Tom Ferry, Ryan Serhan, whoever. See what people are asking them in their comments. Go to your local Reddit page on a interest rate change or a new mortgage rule and see what people are asking in those. And then that's your headline right there. People are already asking those questions, and now you can just answer those questions in your own voice.
Thanks. That actually helped a lot.
Of course.
Great advice. I saw Jeremy's on here. Jeremy, what questions do you have for Matt? How do you, Jeremy, you've done a great job with your content. I love your content, by the way, with the door-to-door. And have you guys seen Jeremy's content? It's next level. So what have you done? What have you learned in this process? Because you weren't an IG guy and you're starting to crush it. So what have you been working on, Jeremy?
Honestly, it's just following people like you and Matt and Paige and Tessa and other people, and just always being super humble and curious. Like, what's working? Who's my avatar? Where's my avatar spending their time? What do they like? What are they watching? What works well for Matt? Okay, Matt's really personable. Okay, I'm gonna take that and see if my avatar likes it. Oh, they do. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. It's just this constant like curiosity, kind of like a Kobe Bryant mama mentality of just always be learning, to be humble that you don't know everything. That's helped me a ton.
Yeah, let's go. And test, guys. Test what works. Maybe this works. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. How do you know? You're all trying to be perfect. You're all trying to be like Paige, but you didn't go through that journey that Paige has gone through. So it's all about the evolution of starting here, getting better. People want to see you evolve. That's massive, that they can see your journey along the way. If you try to go from here to there, it's not going to be authentic. It's not going to be real. People won't trust you. So just go through, when you have a bad day, say, man, I totally messed up on this deal, right? People love to, your message, guys. So just, if it's in your heart, Saad, as a question, and then Misty, you're up next, and we're going to wrap this thing up. Saad, if it's in your heart and you feel like sharing it, use the story and post it. Don't think about it. Don't overthink it, guys. If your gut's telling you to share it, right? They're going to judge you one way or another. So might as well put it out to the universe what you want in your heart, and stop worrying about how people are going to react to it, because it's your life. It's not anyone else's life. Live that life. Do what you want, right? Dress, wear a Canadian tuxedo every single day. Be Matt, right? And that's why people love that guy to death, because he loves what he's doing. And I know he shared his journey. And when you speak at the event in a couple months, I want you to share that journey. You were trying to like, hey, are they going to like this? And when you finally shifted it and said, I'm going to do what I want to do, that's when you started to build trust. That's when you started to build this massive following. And a lot of that inner joy and happiness comes from that. So,
yeah, one thing, a couple of things real quick. Just always say your wins give you credibility, your losses make you human. I always just try and think like that. Also, is a great quote by Kurt Cobain that I absolutely love, that I'd share right now. It's I'd rather be loved for, or I'd rather be hated for something I am than, no, hold on. It's a good quote when I can get it. I'd rather be loved. I don't fucking know what the quote is.
No, you're gonna crush this. Get through this.
You got it, Jeremy?
Come on, Matt Lionetti, right? I got through it. Matt Lionetti, you got this. Crush this quote.
I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not.
Love it.
There we go. See,
Misty,
and that's all it, guys. I'm supposed to be some perfect social media influencer. I couldn't even remember a quote. I'm a moron. That's the thing. That's the real thing about it. We're all just normal people. And I've spent time with Ryan Serhan. I've spent time with Selling Sunset Crew. I've spent time with James and David from $1 Million Listing. Normal people. We put all these people on a pedestal, but they are the exact same. They just work really, really hard. And all that's happened is they found their true self, and they found their thing a bit faster than some other people. That's the only thing that's different. And then they put the work in. That's it.
Yep. They're coachable, and they started before you did on that journey, right?
Yeah.
Missy, what question do you have? Missy's crushing it. She's up in a little small town with a lot of cottages up north in Logan that would be, similar to your township, right?
Love it. Like
Missy,
a
what?
Hallmark movie.
Yeah, you know what? Missy, go ahead. I put her on the spot. She went away.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
I was muted. Sorry.
Oh,
No, just quick comment before my question. I actually moved from Berkshire to Real because of that. I was told like, hey, we're not going to do your stupid little videos. It's going to ruin our credibility with our clientele. But I love that all you guys are extremely like authentic and you all are crushing it 20, 15, 100 times more than anyone at that brokerage that I was at before. So I appreciate that. But my question was, as far as editing content, do you guys use like CapCut? Do you edit on Instagram? I used to edit on TikTok and then had a workaround to do it without the watermark, but they like switched it so you can't do that anymore. I just had that question, then I was gonna ask one more, but I'll let you guys go on that one.
I edit, like some of my stuff is through my videographer, so he does it. But the stuff I do myself, I do on Final Cut Pro. I think it's just the easiest. I used to do iMovie on Mac, which is really easy. But yeah, same thing. I didn't want any watermarks from any other place. So I do it on there and then I just airdrop it back to my phone and then I post it across whatever platforms I want. But once I just YouTubed how to do it. You can pretty much learn the editing in 20 minutes, half hour on pretty much everything on Final Cut Pro or iMovie. And it's pretty seamless.
Okay.
Yeah. So Misty, one thing I do, if you use the Instagram's tools, they'll push your content out more than if you come up from a different direction. Just as a heads up, they want you to use their tools as much as possible. But then also when you hire like listing videos, you use Salt Cinema, just let them do a lot of the editing and keep it simple when it comes to that. So it just depends on the different types of content that you throw out there. And your content strategy, right? Are what I think the biggest thing we all have to figure out is like, where do you see yourself in 5 years and how are you going to get there instead of just what I do today? Right? Like for me, like I'm going after the brand. I don't care if you like me or you don't like me. The more people that dislike me, that's a good thing. They at least know who I am, right? That's a brand. Every big brand, including Mother Teresa, was hated at one point by a lot of people. So when you get past that and you figure out how to be recognized and build that brand, then people will come to you and they'll bring you the deals. So literally figure out, guys, where do you want to be in 5 years? That's critical. Do you want to have where you're just doing listings all the time and no buyers? Do you want to have rev share? Do you want to have 500 properties in Kansas City, right? Where you're just investing your money and it's mailbox money. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest problem we all have is we're so focused on what do I do next instead of where am I going to be in 5 years and who do I need to become to attract those people in our lives. And so as you guys are creating your 12-month goals, why don't you start with the 5-year plan and then work your way back and reverse engineer it, and that will help you guys out a ton. Jenny.
Hey, Matt, I think you're amazing. You have no idea who I am, but I know who you are, but that's a brand, right? So I just have a quick question. When it comes to Instagram, because I also do YouTube, and YouTube's horizontal, how do you feel like Instagram is going as far as horizontal? Because I know TikTok's starting to go horizontal too, as far as vertical and horizontal. If I were to post something like horizontal, would you tell me, no, go and edit it and blow it up? The problem is I don't like the proportions. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, what a lot of people are doing now is they're doing it horizontal, like it's looking vertical, but then when they flip the phone, it says like flip your phone, and then you get that full. So it still keeps up. The problem is it's like ad space in a magazine. You want the biggest space you can get. So the horizontal, when you are scrolling through reels and you're looking at all these things that are filling up your whole screen, as soon as someone gets this little horizontal thing, people are like, oh, it's not engaging, and they flip through it. That's the main problem. It's because people don't have the attention span to like, oh, this might be a cool video. So that's what we're trying to get through. So you'll see now a lot of people are going, flip this video, and then you flip it over, and then you're watching a great experience. But it's going to have a pretty great hook to get them to flip their phone. As easy as it sounds to flip your phone over, it takes a lot for people to do that and stay on your content. So I would do a mixture of both. Some of the stuff that doesn't necessarily need, like what I would do with my videographer when I was doing something for YouTube and Instagram, I would have them film it horizontally, but key in vertically. So we still see the frame vertically, and it's filmed in 5K or 6, whatever the hell K they do now. And they key it in. So all the main spots, especially if you're doing a home tour, because that's where it really suffers is home tours. You can see like nothing vertically. So you have to get pretty creative. So it's very, very specifically shot when we're doing it that way. So they're still keeping in like core things in the frame, because if you don't do that, what's going to happen is you're going to blow it up, and then you're not even going to be in this frame. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to be pretty intentional about how you're doing that. But I would do a mix of both, because I just don't feel like yet people are ready to go back to horizontal on like a reel. But I think every now and then, if you start to become known for something very cinematic or something, yeah, like start sprinkling it in. Because like Scott was saying, it's a lot of trial and error. Who knows? You know, at the end of the day, who knows what consumers and what your audience is going to like that day? That day, it might just hit where everyone's like, you know what? I want to watch a horizontal video today. We don't know. We can do all data research we want, but at the end of the day, unless you try it, we don't know. When I started doing these comedy videos, everyone told me there's no chance it's going to work, and they called me a moron. So they had just never tried it. So they didn't know what there was to go, right? So like, I'd say try it, but I'd also say try doing the flip the phone thing, because I've actually been considering that myself, because you can just get a way nicer product.
Well, it might even be fun to make it like a capturing hook where you're started vertical, and then all of a sudden you make them through the video actually flip. That way you're making them get used to it, but you get that beginning part that's vertical.
Yeah. And even if your hook is literally you pushing it. So like you're pushing the camera and flipping it or something yourself, right? So you're like looking at the camera and you're like, oh no, that's not right. And then you flip it yourself. That's a cool hook.
Yeah, Salt Cinema is also like comparing it to the movies, right? We go there because we want the big screen.
Yeah.
Salt Cinema has done that. Okay, so we normally go about 30, 35 minutes when we have Matt Lionetti. I got it right? I got it right.
Yeah.
I butchered it. When Matt's on the call, we spend a little bit more time. This has been very good, very engaging. I appreciate it. Matt, leave us one thing. Obviously, you're going to come out April 1st. You're going to come out. I'm going to get the whole crew. We're going to get everyone, all the BAM crew, all the broke agents. I don't care. We're going to get Sharon. We're going to get all the big dogs out here. One thing I'd like to do, though, is when we do that event, I'd like to do like a separate event with just our team, our agents, where Matt can come in here and crush it live and in person. Matt, you've never been to Salt Lake City. Leave us on that. What's the one thing that you're most excited to come out to the mountains, to see all this amazing community? I know you talk about our community all the time, and I feel like that's so cool to somebody from like Canada, Toronto, that he knows all of us. He knows you guys. It's awesome. Matt, take it away on that. We'll finish it up, and then we'll get after it because we got some houses to sell.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's fairly flat here. I mean, Canada's beautiful where I'm at in Toronto. It's pretty flat other than the CN Tower, the extremely large erect building in the middle of the city. But other than that, it's pretty flat. I love mountains. My wife loves mountains. We've been to Arizona, so maybe we've seen some of the same mountains. I don't.
Not even comparable, Matt.
Okay, good to know. We'll never say that again. My apologies. Been to Aspen. Those are some nice mountains. Okay, are we getting there? Denver and Aspen.
Have you seen Dumb and Dumber? That's not Aspen. That's Salt Lake City, baby.
I've seen Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, 90% of it was filmed in Salt Lake City.
Well,
Aspen is an absolute fraud.
I went to Aspen. I mean, I accepted a speaking gig there because of Dumb and Dumber. And I went and I quoted the movie the entire time. And every single person was like, you know, it wasn't filmed here, right? And I was like, you guys are a bunch of frauds. You guys, I had my orange suit and like my chipped tooth. And I was just slinging them all day long. Like it wasn't filmed here. But they did say some of it was filmed in Vail. So I stopped off in Vail too.
Hey, Matt, you brought up you have an orange suit. When you come and speak, you got to wear the orange suit and come out and be like the guy Ferrante, but like that red suit is an absolute fraud. This is the real color.
Yeah, the orange suit, just a bit different in the color family. But no, I'm excited to see the mountains. I've just heard nothing but good things. Post Malone talks about it a lot. Big Post Malone fan. Got sucked into watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That was pretty good. If I can get on season 2 of that, I'm in. Gonna be honest, I was telling Paige about this. They kind of frame you guys as like, you got Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, you got Sister Wives, you got like, a lot of people probably think that's all it is. So I'm excited to see I'm excited for you all to show me the real experience.
We love you, Matt. Thank you guys so much for coming. Whatever you guys need, reach out to us. Let's make it massive. Next month when we do the dinner, I want to see every single one of you in the $1 Million Club. Thank you guys so much, Matt. Appreciate every single thing you've done for us and our community. And let's get after there. Make it an awesome day, guys. Let's go.
Thanks, Matt.
If you need anything, take care.
Boom.
Thank you.
Bye.